Have you ever felt a specific kind of pain that doesn't come from a clear rejection? It's not a fight, not a dramatic breakup, but something far more unsettling. It's the pain of change without explanation. One day, a person who was a constant presence in your life, someone you shared your thoughts and days with, just shifts. They become distant, not hostile, not completely gone, but just quieter. The daily check-ins stop. The easy laughter fades. The connection that once felt so solid starts to feel like smoke. There's no argument to pinpoint, no final words spoken. It's a slow, creeping fade, and because there's nothing concrete to hold on to, your mind is left in a state of limbo. So you wait. You tell yourself it's just a phase. Maybe they're busy, stressed, or going through something they don't want to talk about. You repeat the mantra, don't overthink it. Give them space. You try to be understanding, patient, but silence has a way of stretching time, making minutes feel like hours and days feel like weeks. The quiet amplifies every doubt, and slowly, inevitably, your attention turns inward. You start to question yourself. Did I say something wrong? Did I do something to push them away? Your mind becomes a detective, sifting through the evidence of your last few interactions. You replay moments, searching for clues you might have missed. That small, almost unnoticeable hesitation in their voice. A delayed reply to a text that used to be answered instantly. A change in tone you brushed off at the time, but now seems glaringly significant. You zoom in on every detail, every micro-expression, every word left unsaid. It's not because you want to torture yourself, not because you enjoy this mental anguish. It's because the human mind is a meaning-making machine. It craves patterns, logic, and reasons. When words disappear, when communication ceases, the mind desperately looks for another language to decipher, and in the absence of conversation, behavior becomes the only text you have left to read. This is when the distance starts to feel heavier than an actual loss. A clear ending, as painful as it might be, brings closure. It marks a definitive point where something has finished. You can grieve, you can process, you can begin to heal, but this unexplained distance, it keeps the connection alive in the most painful way possible, without clarity, without resolution. It's a hope that flickers and fades, leaving you suspended in a perpetual state of what if. This is how a strange kind of attachment can form in silence. It's not built on shared closeness or happy memories, but on the foundation of unanswered questions. The more you wonder, the more you analyze, the deeper the hook sets. Your energy, your thoughts, your emotional landscape become colonized by this puzzle you can't solve. You might find yourself crafting imaginary conversations, playing out scenarios where you finally ask them what's going on. You rehearse your lines, preparing for a talk that may never happen. You think that if you could just get an explanation, the pain would subside. You believe that closure is something someone else has to give you, a key they hold to lock away your confusion. You think you need to hear the words to finally move on. You might even reach out, trying to bridge the gap, only to be met with more of the same quiet, polite distance. It's like knocking on a door where you know someone is home, but they refuse to answer. The silence becomes a wall, solid and impenetrable. But then, after weeks or maybe even months of this silent struggle, something begins to shift. It's not a sudden epiphany, but a quiet, slow-dawning realization. It arrives when you're tired. Tired of waiting, tired of guessing, tired of walking on eggshells in your own mind. You start to understand that you don't actually need them to give you an explanation. The explanation has been right in front of you all along. You just needed to learn how to read it. You need to understand what the silence itself is already showing you. Because a person's consistent behavior, repeated over a long period, isn't a signal of confusion. It's not a mixed message. It's information. It's a clear and direct answer, just not in the language you were hoping for. Their silence is the message. Their distance is the message. Their lack of effort is the message. They are showing you, through their actions, that they are unwilling or unable to maintain the connection you once had. They are showing you that you are no longer a priority. They are showing you their choice. And once you truly see that, once you stop waiting for words and start accepting the evidence of their behavior, everything changes. The desperate need for answers begins to fade. You stop chasing closure from words that may never come. You realize that begging for an explanation is like asking someone to validate your pain while they are the ones causing it. You stop negotiating with silence. You stop trying to interpret it or fix it or wait for it to end. You simply observe it for what it is, a choice. You accept it, and in that acceptance, a profound sense of peace begins to settle. The meaning you were so desperately searching for arrives, not because they finally explained themselves, but because you finally understood. You understood that their withdrawal wasn't about a single thing you did wrong, but about who they are and what they are capable of giving. You understood that you deserve more than ambiguity and quiet abandonment. You understood that you can give closure to yourself, and that quiet, internal understanding's the only closure that ever truly matters. It's the moment you take your power back from the silence. Thank you for watching.